Welcome back for another video. Getting a strong start in Game Week 1 is crucial to maximise your chances of a good season. It's easy to get left behind and then it's an uphill battle to regain the lost ground. So in this video we'll be discussing all the players and teams you'll want to avoid in your Game Week 1 drafts. There's tons of pre-season content planned right here and we're going for 150,000 subscribers by Game Week 1, so help us get there by hitting subscribe. Thanks for the support. So let's jump in and we'll start with a couple of goalkeepers, Ederson and Pope. Do you think having a goalkeeper from the best team in the league is logical? However, in FPL terms, it can actually be counterintuitive. Man City's defence is so good that Ederson actually faces far fewer shots, the least in the league last season, and that means less save points. Last season, his 121 points was his worst ever, and he massively underperformed his expected goals conceded, often conceding when he shouldn't. Instead, consider a 4.5 keeper like Pickford or Fabianski, or for 5 Ramsdale. Pope's also an avoid off the back of a price hike to 5.5. Newcastle have awful opening fixtures against Villa, Man City, Liverpool and Brighton. Newcastle do have a good defence and you can save 1 by picking up Botman, who's a nailed on centre back. Next up is Gakpo, reclassified from midfielder to striker, which means no clean sheet points and 1 less point per goal scored. He did play striker, so it made sense to reclassify him, but even then he did drop deep last season at times and he wasn't that involved in the final third. That could change with the signing of McAllister and Szoboszlai, but it still depends if he locks down a spot or not. If he does, he'll be good value, but he does have Darwin and Jota for competition who can play in the same position. For that reason, Darwin and Jota both avoids as well. Until any of them are clear, nailed starters, it's too much risk. A couple of Arsenal players next, and the first is Havertz. Big new signing, 7.5 and reclassified as a midfielder, which is good. However, his role is a question mark. He's a versatile player and he can play down the right, which would likely mean off the bench for Saka. He can play through the middle as well, in Ødegaard's role, or even up top in Jesus' position. However, in all positions he is a rotation pick, so I'd rather find the extra 1 for Ødegaard or Saka. Rice is another one, obviously an exciting signing, record breaking, but his FPL prospects are low. Very rarely involved among the attacking returns, occasionally took penalties at West Ham, but it's unclear if that will be the case. He's unlikely to take them off Saka. At best he'll put up 3 points a game and Arsenal keep a clean sheet. Controversial one next, which some of you might disagree with, Reece James. Obviously absolutely well-cast player when he's available, but he has a horrendous injury record, including several injuries last season. The last time he played 7 consecutive league games was 2021. It'd be unsurprising if he's 50% owned Game Week 1, red flag Game Week 2. Instead consider Chilwell, who's also an attacking fullback and has a better injury record. Mount up next, a quality player and he should be a good signing for Man United, but unlikely to be a good FPL asset. He might play in Eriksen's role, which does have potential for attacking returns, but you're better off spending 8.5 on Fernandes, who's also in penalties, or 9 on Rashford. Sancho also one to steer clear of, a price cut to 7 which is still overpriced. He's not nailed and he's off the back of another disappointing season, scoring just 6 times. Man United fans hoping he can hit the Dortmund form eventually, but he looks way off that peak at the moment. Man City next, and it's Mahrez. Mahrez has historically been a fantastic pick if you catch him at the right time, but he's a very risky pick and not nailed. He's got a lot of competition like Foden and Bernardo Silva who can start in his position. Instead consider Foden and Grealish for about the same price. White comes in at 5.5 This one doesn't make much sense given 10 points separate him and Gabriel, who comes in at 5 Likewise Saliba's 5 Arsenal's new signing Timber's also competition for White. And last season Gabriel was actually top among all defenders for expected goals and he's Arteta's clear first choice left-footed centre back. Mudryk received a price cut to 6.5 but still an avoid. He was ineffective after joining from Shakhtar last season, one for the watch list. Pochettino might be able to get the best out of him, but if you really want a Chelsea mid, then Sterling for 0.5 more is a proven quality in the Premier League, albeit off the back of a bad season himself. Antonio only found the back of the net 5 times last season, and he has both Ings and Skamaka for competition. All 3 are avoids. West Ham are also juggling Europa League this season, having won the Europa Conference League last season. Historically, we have seen teams struggle to manage the busy schedule after qualifying as well. Dallow's an avoid. He and Wan-Bissaka may rotate, so you're better off finding the extra 0.5 for sure, who's completely nailed, and he may even take some set pieces. March comes in at 6.5 one to avoid as he's got good competition for his spot, including Bonanotte, who did do well last season while March was injured. The other reason to avoid is simply because Mitoma costs the same and January looks much more dangerous on the ball and there's less competition. Don't be tricked by Gross for 6.5 mil either. He was actually Brighton's top scorer mid. Mitoma's definitely the best of the bunch. St. Maximan's an avoid. Last season, Howe had a good headache on his hands, with both Isak and Wilson at his disposal. In the end, Isak was moved down the left and Wilson through the middle, which worked very well. Isak's therefore expected to continue in St. Maximan's spot. Another controversial one next, perhaps some of you might disagree anyway, Jesus. 8 mil price tag and 11 goals last season. Had he been 7.5 mil, would have been one to really weigh up, but he's 0.5 mil too expensive, considering he's not clinical enough for goals, and he tends to be involved creatively more. He has Havertz for competition now as well, and for an extra 0.5 mil you can get Ødegaard and Saka for Arsenal coverage. If you found this useful, please hit like and subscribe to help us hit 150k by Game Week 1. Share your thoughts in the comments. Are there any other players that you think should be avoided? See you soon for the next one.